Welcome everyone. Spring is almost here. Days are getting longer. You can hear birds singing.
What you can see here is variety of tulips. I have over 100 tulips going on in these pots and 8 varieties. But one key thing we all face, particularly with tulips, is the quality of the bulbs. And if you had a chance to plant tulip before, or if you're planning to plant them, good quality tulip bulb is very important. In my situation, when I receive those bulbs, I can classify them in 3 different types. Very good one, nice, clean, no mold at all, and you can have that feeling that you are going to get a good flower out of them. The second type was very much the bulbs with a lot of mold, and the third one with a lot of mold, and it seemed like something has nibbled them. Now the question here is, which one should we plant? So I thought to give a try to all 3 types. The first 4 parts you can see, this one over here, these are the good quality one, absolutely clean, no mold at all. And you can see now the array of colors, they are absolutely doing great. Some are still not with the flower. I'm hoping them in next few weeks, when the days are getting more warmer, soon I will have some colorful delight from these tulips. This one here is the mixed type, with the bulb with a lot of mold. Now I didn't discard them. I just plant them as it is, just in case if I can get some magical flower show. Over here, the small part which you see is a third type. These bulbs are absolutely moldy, and you can see them. Something has nibbled them, and they were D-shaped. Instead of just throwing them away, I thought to plant them. And you can see now here, beautiful yellow flower here, and it's still giving me some hope. I'm hoping that these bulbs are going to give me some good flower as well. Now you can see the range of variety here, but the big question is, how can you, if you're planning to plant them, and if you already did it, how can you get such a variety of color, the strong, the healthy plants you can get, so that you can have flower like this in your garden. So now I will tell you how, what exactly do you need, and what's the basic equation to plant the tulips. Alright, so the first thing you really need for any plant, especially if you're looking to plant some containers, the good sized containers. You can see here I have 2 different type of containers or pots here. The black one is very traditional, which you can get from shops or nursery if you have. But here, this is just a storage box. You need to be careful when you use these storage boxes or any of the similar kind. You need to make sure that they are safe enough. Normally, if that storage box is meant for clothes, let's say, they are absolutely fine to plant for plantation. Now, whenever you buy them, you may notice them, they may not have the drainage hole or hole underneath, which is very important for the flow of the water. So first thing, you need to make sure that whenever you buy any new pots or a storage box, you have enough hole underneath it. These one roughly have about 4 to 6 holes, good sized holes, so that if there is excess of water, it can easily drain out. The second thing you will need is a good compost. A compost which can help the bulbs to grow and produce the stronger plants. Now, once you have these three things together, the containers, drainage hole, and the good compost. Now the next bit here is how exactly you can plant them. Now different varieties may come with different specifications, so it's always a good idea to have a look at what are the requirements for different varieties. For these particular one, my calculation is very simple. You have to leave about 10 centimeter of the compost under the tulip bulb, and then at least 10 centimeter on the top. So that's a simple formula I have used for my varieties. I will be recording another video on the varieties of the tulips I have, so you can see what variety I have. But again, do check the specification of the bulbs, how much you need. But generally, 10 centimeter is a fair enough compost under the bulb and over the bulb as well. Now, once you do so, the next important thing I think you must know is the timing. When exactly you can plant these bulbs. As I said, you can leave 10 centimeter above and in the bottom. Now, it's important that you plant them before the winter or before the frost, and that's the best time you can plant them. Once you plant them, it will take them few months over the winter before you can really see such a lovely color of tulips. Now, in my garden, I have a very interesting problem, and I usually call them 3S: slug, snail, and the squirrels. Now, specifically squirrel is quite active, and for some reason they likes to eat these bulbs. So what you really need to do is to make sure that your plants have a good start. And what you really need to do is to have, you can see here there is a kind of a net I have. So normally I cover any of my plants with the net until they are about at least 3 to 4 inches. Specifically for the tulips, I make sure that there's enough margin of the tulip plant to grow. So you can see that if you can see here the compost, when the compost finish the top level, I still have about 3 to 4 inches of the gap, and I cover them with this net until they are strong and healthy enough. So that's all most of the 3S problem, which is the snail, slugs, and the squirrels. Now, the time you are going to plant them, so when you have the bulbs, you put the compost, you have the mesh ready, do give them a good amount of water. Now, again, do they need water at all after the plantation? Maybe let's say in a month's time or 2 months time. That's a very interesting issue, and I will be talking it in the next video. So having said that, so this is the perfect combination, and you don't need to do anything magical really to have these beautiful tulips. And the important thing about tulip is these are the tulips are sort of the indication of the spring. If you have in your garden, this is the first indication of the spring, and the days are getting warmer. I must highlight another point, specifically with the clear storage boxes, that you can see the roots are growing. You can see the root growth, and they are this is very good for the kids, if they want to see and observe and learn, how your plant is growing. They can see through it, and I think that this can give you a fantastic experience. Another important aspect for tulip is in what configuration you want to plant them. Unfortunately, I don't have the tulip bulbs, but this can explain you. Now, if you're planting the tulip for the first time, you may be just putting them in a row, and as you can see that, and even if you leave enough margin, when they will get bigger, you will not see a good display. So it's always a good idea not to plant them in a row which is look a bit more symmetrical. So always try to create some randomness in their configuration, and this will also help your plant to grow better, and also in terms of the display it will also look nice. Now I will show you the two configuration which I have used, and they're doing absolutely great. So this is one of the configuration I use with the rectangular shaped container. As you can see, the idea is very simple. You have your first row down, and then the next row trying to plant them in the spaces. So you take space as a reference and then try to plant them, and then you can repeat the same process in the third row as well. It depends upon your container size, so you can have multiple rows or 2 rows. But again, this will give, if you see now, the each block has roughly about 1.5 or 2 inch circle around them, and I think this can give them a good chance to grow stronger. Alright, so this is the second configuration. If you have a circular container, a pot, and again the idea is very simple. You go your first circle, as you can see here, and then trying to use the spaces as a reference, and this can give a bit of randomness in when they will grow, and you can see that their look will be absolutely different, instead of if you just follow the same pattern, just trying to have more circle, which will give less chance or less space for the plant to grow. Alright, so this is it from my end. I hope this video will give you some tips, and also you can use this experience to grow your own lovely tulips. Another thing I must highlight in the end is the discussion about frost. There's a lot of discussion. Do you need to protect your tulip bulbs when you plant them from the frost? I personally haven't done anything. I just all the pots were outdoor in the garden, and I think they're absolutely doing great. But again, you have to see where you live and what condition you have, and then based on that you can try to make the decision. With this, thank you very much, and I will be updating you on the progress and a few other key aspects of growing tulips. So thank you very much. Please do share your experience and comment and like. Thank you.